The Payment App Proprietary Limited is a payment gateway, big data fintech helping businesses to sell more, reduce fraud as well. It's launching an equity crowdfunding raise in the post-COVID-19 world. The time is right at the moment for a revolution in the payment process as online and mobile payments start to grow. The market's expected to increase. Here to talk to us about that is Benjamin Banks from the Payment App. Benjamin, thanks for your time.
Good morning, Ahron. Thank you.
Yeah, interested in how we're seeing a change of payments, the way that we, I suppose, deal with payments as customers, but also for merchants as well, post-COVID-19.
Yeah, it's going to be a really big change. I think we've seen already an explosion in, if you saw the latest report, ATM withdrawals are down for the first time in a very long time. It's been a big hit. But I think what we're going to see is the way we interact changing significantly. And I think the biggest one will be people no longer wanting to touch a terminal is going to be a big one going forward. Gone, I think, are the days where you'll get handed a terminal and push your PIN number in. And I think that's one of the things that we're really focused on changing and evolving here at the Payment App is reducing that friction at the POS.
Yeah, well, what are you guys actually doing to assist that? I think we're all very familiar with tap and go payment options these days. It's a lot easier for us. It's on your mobile phone if you want, etc. What are you guys doing in the space?
So I think the key going forward is the integration points are going to change significantly. Currently in the market, there is a separation between what's point of sale and the physical terminal and the terminal manufacturers. What we're envisioning and what we're seeing is those hard terminals will eventually disappear, and it's going to be one-to-one relationships between a cash register, POS, and a smart device that conducts the transaction. And that interaction is the big growth area going forward.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand how that all works. Could you just give us a bit of a brief summary of how it works?
Yeah, so think of it at the moment, you walk into whether it's an online shopping cart or a retailer, they have their point of sale, which operates their cash register, which is how they control their stock and all the information relating to the business. And then off to the side, they've got a physical terminal, which, in Australia comes from their bank, overseas from various other players. That physical terminal and the relationship between it and the POS is the big growth area and the big change. And that's also a friction point as well too, because there's a separation in the way transactions are done, that you have to transmit the data from one to the other and then move on. Whereas if you look at what we're seeing with the likes of Afterpay and Zip and this instant gratification market that's coming through, consumers don't care how they get paid. They just want to pay quickly and move on with their lives. And merchants themselves don't care how they get paid. They just want to sell more items and sell more goods and services. So when you change the methodology and change the way the two parties interact and remove points where there are issues or additional steps that need to take place, you, by the sheer nature of that, increase the volume of sales for everybody.
Yeah. So why should consumers care about this?
Well, look, fraud's a big one. And it doesn't matter what everybody thinks, it still happens. The ASX has come out and even noted that over the past COVID crisis, there's been an increase in online scams for investment in crypto. So fraud's a big area. So whether it's online or physical in store, there is still always that risk. You might recall in the very early days, card skimming was a big thing. So when we move into this new digital age, which is vastly more interactive and a lot quicker, there's going to be new things that come up. So consumers need to be mindful of what they're doing. And where that also comes in is that the way consumers pay is going to change. The MPP is growing in demand, scheme cards are having to change the way they interact. So all these different things are going to change the way you interact, which creates new ways for fraudsters to steal money.
Yeah, talk to us about how you see the Payment App looking towards opportunities for growth.
So the big opportunity that we're seeing in the short term is going to be the creation of our digital ecosystem with our own apps, with everything from rental payments through to fuel, through to some hospitality stuff. So there's big opportunities there in reducing the areas of this impact, and they're also high volume touch points where people are interacting with terminals and other such things. Long term, it is changing the ethos of how payments is done. Traditionally, it's been a very click on the ticket model. we're seeing the market moving very aggressively into long-term, a very subscription-orientated model, which will by nature bring down the cost for everybody.
Now, interested in the capital raise at the moment, the crowdfunding capital raise. Why go down that route, and how do you think you're going to go during a pandemic raising cash?
We've actually gone really well so far. We
Amazing.
go public next week. The pre sort of private round has been exceptionally well received. Why a crowdfund? As much as it's painful to say, Australia is a very conservative market when it comes to capital raising, whereas Australian consumers en masse are very open to new ideas and they're very open to technology. We embrace technology probably far better than any other country in Australia. So the board got together and we made the decision that, well, let's open it up to as many shareholders as we can, not just big institutions, but the average Joe who's going to have a vested interest, both short, medium, and long term, in not only our own apps but other apps that can connect to us and work with us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Benjamin Banks, when you're dealing with something about money, I feel like the name Benjamin Banks is the perfect one.
Thanks very much, Ahron.
All right, thanks so much for your time.